If you're thinking about retirement, start planning well in advance. Are you a solo practitioner? Decide whether you'll sell or wind down your practice. In a group practice or employed? Know your obligations for providing notice. Understand your state licensing board's requirements. Plan how you'll retain your medical and business records. Prepare how you'll notify staff and patients. Review what your contracts with health insurers require. Determine whether you need professional liability insurance tail coverage. Review all contracts pertaining to your practice. Seek advice from an attorney who specializes in business or healthcare law, your professional liability carrier, your state board, and your state association. Here are a few retirement issues from a risk management perspective. Patients have a right to continuity of care, and you have a legal and ethical duty to provide it. Fail to provide it, and you could face allegations of patient abandonment. Give patients enough time to find another physician and transition their care. Send written notification by mail 90 days before retirement to patients seen within the last 2 years. Place a copy of the letter in the patient's medical record. The letter should include the date the practice closes or you retire, the importance of seeking continued care, and where the patient's records will be located. Add that a copy of the records will be sent to another chiropractor of the patient's choice upon written authorization. Include a medical record release authorization form. State how long records will be retained. Provide a permanent mailing address or P.O. box for future record requests if records won't stay at the current location. Patients receiving ongoing care should also get verbal notification, with a discussion of their treatment plan and follow-up coordination. Document all of it in the medical record. Office staff should tell patients about the retirement when they call to schedule appointments, months in advance. Notifications should state when you're retiring and give a phone number and address for records requests. Post an announcement on the practice's website. Place an advertisement in the local newspaper a few weeks before closing. Retain patient records for at least 10 years after the most recent encounter for adults. For minors, keep records up to the age of majority, plus the state statute of limitations, or 10 years after the most recent encounter, whichever is longest. Secure records as required by HIPAA. Keep them available for patients and subsequent providers. The HIPAA right of access rule requires covered entities to supply requested records as soon as possible, but no later than 30 days after the request. The 21st Century Cures Act prohibits providers from blocking patient information. Review your contract with your EHR vendor to ensure you can access records after you retire. If you sell your practice or designate a records custodian who agrees, you may release your custodial rights to that physician. Both physicians should sign an agreement for transfer retention of medical records, and each should retain a copy. The agreement should state that the new physician agrees to be custodian, will maintain records safely, will make them available to patients and any requested physician, will make them available to you if needed, and will preserve them for at least 10 years following transfer. You cannot automatically transfer patient care to the new provider. Tell patients the new provider is taking over and they can continue care there. Advise them they are free to select any provider they choose. If you retain custody, give patients specific information on how to request a copy of their records after you retire. For solo practitioners, continue the practice's phone service for several months. Use it to advise patients of your closure and provide instructions for obtaining care or records. If another physician purchases your practice, ask them to take your calls and inform patients of your retirement. Include this provision in the sales contract. For more information about retirement planning, visit OUMChiropractor.com.